Right, what I want to show you today is just quickly putting the flywheel on, because we've done a quick video on the rear seal, crankshaft seal, which I recommend people buying the version, which is from Turner's, far more superior than the original Land Rover stuff. So that was that. So now we're going to put the flywheel on, and then we'll put the clutch on. We'll talk about the clutch in a minute, but let's get the flywheel on. So there's some weight in this, so you've got to be really careful in doing it. So work out roughly where your locking pin is, which is about there, and then what you can do is slowly just put your fingers in, and then lift it on place. Work out, just need to slightly rotate it. If I lock these off, should just go on nicely. There you go. And that's in place. Wipe. And then just clean that off. Make sure before you put this on that you've cleaned all your threads out, got all your nuts, that they're all clean as well. So, not your nuts, your bolts, sorry. Make sure your bolts are clean and the threads are all clean in here. So once you've got that on and that's all nice and flat, you can do some measurements and get a flat edge and do some bits and bobs to see, but I knew when I took it apart and I had the crankshaft all tested and measured up that everything was nice and true. So once you've done that, you need to put all the bolts in, and they need to be done up at 146 Newton meters. But for now, I'm just going to put these in to get them in position. So put them all in. You don't need to, doesn't say in the book that you have to do it in a sequence or like that, like when putting the front cover on and things like that, or when you put the housing on, you do it in a sequence, starting up here, then down here, then across, then back up, and then I think you then come back down to here, and then up to here, and so on. Here you don't have to do that. One good thing is to make sure that this is nice and clean of any grease. You can take these out and replace them, but this was replaced when I temporarily put the clutch on and got the engine put in to see if there was something wrong, which there wasn't, but I had other things I needed to do with the bulkhead, rewiring and all that, and to be honest, it's just quicker to take the engine out instead of trying to work around an engine, putting all your wiring through, because I'm putting a new wiring loom in, or I'm making a new wiring loom, so I'll do a video at some point on what I've done there. So, right, so let's spin these up. that's basically that. So I think now what you'll see is, if I was to actually start tightening this up, you'd see that, yeah, it's starting to move now, so the pistons will be going up. Let's just pre-tighten these. Because we're going to have to lock it off. Don't have a tool for doing that, so what we will use is this and wedge this in. It's not the ideal way of doing it, but I found that it's fine. You've got your locking mark there, so it can be done. As long as you find a nice place and it's wedged in. It's good to have two hands though, another person to do this. So what I'll do is I'll go and get my toolbar. So what we need to do is set this to 146. Always a good job to reset these back to 0 when they're not in use. So reset it back. And 42, 4, yeah, 6. Right, so I don't think I'm going to be able to do this without having the extra hand. So let's see if I can. Let's find a place where I could lock it off. I think I might need to get the smaller version of what I had of this. So just no, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. Not safely anyway. So no, I'm going to need to get another tool. So let's see now where I can knock this off. And there we go. That's more than enough. So first come around here and do it, making sure. There we go. Is that going to be enough? There you go. If we work it diagonally. There you go. So you've got that one, and then That's it. Yep, definitely been round. So that's that. If we was just to knock that the other way, just to release that. That's that. So now we've got that on, we'll give it another quick wipe. And then what we're going to do is now put the clutch on. So, talking about the clutch, first thing is having a centering tool. And this allows you to put the clutch on so it slides on, it's nice and central. So, before we carry on, quick talk about the clutch. So I got a clutch from L.O.F. And I've got the 2.8 International heavy duty clutch because I do a lot of heavyweight driving with the Overlander, with the roof tent, the awning, the side table, rear cargo carrier and a trailer when we go away on trips. And there's a lot of weight there, so I think that was a baby crying for something that's happened. So yeah, there's a lot of weight there. So it's well worth having the heavy duty clutch. But it was a good clutch. The only thing I find with it, there's a bit of a rattle, but when I spoke to L.O.F about that, they said that's normal with this particular clutch. Sounds like the thrust bearing's going, but it's not. It's just how it sounds because of the spring. Let me get the clutch itself. Again, make sure you've got relatively clean hands when touching the surface of the clutch. The springs are very heavy duty and that creates a bit of a rattle. But like they were saying, it was normal, so there's nothing to worry about. So when fitting this, always make sure you got this end facing the gearbox side and then the other end goes towards the flywheel. And basically that's it. I wish I had the box to open this up and show you when I got it, but I hadn't, and I haven't done that. So, and this has been on once for about 40-50 miles, and I took it back off to do bits and bobs with the engine. So it's going back on again. But anyway, so if we was to centralise that up, this is why it's handy to have this. So now that's in place. Like I said, remember the gearbox side facing this way. It says it anyway, so make sure it's nice and clean. There's a bit of fluff on it, but I won't worry too much about that. That'll soon go. And then take the real heavy bit. and it will go on. Right, so remembering you've got some location studs on where this is going to go. So if we was to slide that on, we know that, where are we there? That's it. One up there, we've got one down here somewhere, so we should be able to get that on. Just finding it, there you go, there. And then if we get our first bolts, and then put one down here. I questioned if we needed washers, but they said no, they don't fit any, so that's fine. Right, so I'll just get that in, and then I can get that tightened up, just nip it up, same as that. And then same with the rest of them, get them all in. I would just get them so you can finger get them in. You don't want to cross thread them or out like that. Definitely don't use the tool, the impact driver or anything like that. Taking them off, yeah, but I wouldn't this way. And that's it. And then just slowly go around, tightening it up. So. We're not going to torque these down yet because this is just for the video, and for some reason I'm missing one. So I need to go back to the tub and get that one. So we're not going to torque it down, but basically that's it. That's fitting the clutch, flywheel, using the centralizer to keep it in place. And then once you take that out, that will stay in place, and that will allow you to put it all on. But one good tip I did get when fitting this to the gearbox is to do two crucial things. Right, so if I was to slightly turn this round just there and zoom in, it's not so easy when it's on the vehicle because you've got to get them off. I did some adaptions. So these here, the bolts that come down off here, I changed, and I put them with a set of long grub screw type style bolts, and inside the grub screw you've got an Allen key. And what I do is I've now inserted the Allen key, and what I do is I take this off. Both sides I remove. So when I'm putting the engine in, I sit them on the mounts, and then you can literally slide the engine in, which that makes that easier at this end. Makes this, might come out a tiny bit and come back. So like that. You slide the engine in, which then the gearbox shaft, the lathe shaft, will then go into there. Another tip to do, which is, especially when you're on your own and you're trying to do all this, is put it in 5th gear, jack the passenger side front wheel up, only ever so slightly off the ground, just enough to spin the wheel. And then basically what you can do is move the wheel, and you can turn the shaft and the spline, and you can rock it and get it in position just where it will slide on. And then you haven't got to do no fighting, because when you've got these on, it's all like this at an angle, and you're trying to get it in, and it's just you need more than a few people to do it. So I learned off a guy to remove these, and they will come out. This is why when these are off, it's far more easier. You can get it on the bench. You can get a set of real good quality mole grips and just take these out, and then replace them with, like I said, the long grub screws with the Allen key inside. And then you can put them in once you've got all this in line, bolted all this up. You can just put them back in. Tiny bit of Loctite, don't really need to put any on. I don't, and they never come out. And then nice big flat washer, nut on, and there you go, it's tightened. And you haven't got to fight trying to get this in all at, like I said, the angle, and then trying to get this to line up. And that's the way I do it. So that's it. One thing I was told to do is get people to subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up if you liked what you saw, and there was a bit of information that you've not heard before. And I think in that information, everyone's seen clutches be fitted and all that, so that's nothing special. Yeah, the L.O.F clutch, the 2.8, there might not be too many people have done that, but the two key things that you should like is removing these and jacking that passenger front wheel up just slightly off the ground, put it in 5th gear, and you'll be able to rock it. The spline will slightly turn, and then it will. I can do this on my own. So if I can do it, you lot sure can. And that's it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you shortly in another video. Bye-bye.